Salome, I bet all 19 of you have been just, if there's even still 19 of you, have been on the edge of the seat wondering what has happened to David Liebe Hart. Why haven't I updated lately on what's going on with David Liebe Hart? Because I didn't know what was going on with David Liebe Hart. The last time I talked to him, since before recently, for several weeks, Gloria, get out of there. No, you cannot, no. Come on now. Her and David are good buddies. They talk together on the phone. When she hears him on the speakerphone, she'll come up and talk to him, and they meow and talk to each other in Corindrian. And I don't know what they're saying. Anyway, so yes, I know many of you probably just been dying to know what happened to David. And I'm sorry, I have my computer sitting, I have all my craft stuff here next to me. I've been crafty lately. Oh my gosh. And underneath my computer, I just realized where I set it. I'm very ADD. I will just set things anywhere, especially if I'm in creative mode. I don't even know the mess I'm making. I just, when I have the juices are flowing, I just throw it down the next, like a mad person. Anyway, so the next thing I wanted to tell on this video, I wanted to read you the letter that finally came. I guess it's been so long till I've received it. Probably because, hold on, let me find where I just had it. Probably because he only put the 4 letters instead of the 5 numbers instead of the 5 number zip code. Hold on, you guys. I'm going to go get the letter real quick. Look at this thing that I made. That is, you probably can't see it on this bad screen. I just ordered a new camera also, by the way, too. But that, oh, where's my finger? Well, okay, that is David's face, but you can't tell very well in this light. But I made this thing as a party favor to sell. If anybody wants it, I'm gonna put it up for auction because David Daddy needs the money. And so the starting bid is $20. If you want it, it's yours, unless somebody bids higher. It goes to the highest bidder. I don't know when the auction ends. I guess it ends the auction ends at midnight tonight. And whoever is the highest bidder at midnight, or nobody bids on it, then the first person to bid on it. First come, first serve. But if nobody buys it, I'm definitely not selling it for any less than $20 because I'd rather just have it. Okay, I'll be back. Let me get the letters. I was just reading them. Oh. They're very precious to me. Where did I put them? Got all my craft stuff. Oh, they're right there. If it was a snake, it would have bit me. It's right here. See, when I put things in the right place, where I mean for them to be, I can't ever find them. Okay. So, the thing I was laughing at. So my glue gun made, it had this little thing on the end of it where the glue had dried. And I don't know if you can see it from here, what it kind of looks like. Wait. I don't know if you can see from here, but it's it looks like two tentacles here, and you see the two tentacles in the back. Okay, I'm like a 12-year-old kid. I just thought it was funny. Like, if I actually molded it, it would really look like that. It looks like it's had its circumcision at right now. Because the tip has been cut off. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry. That is so rude. Okay. First of all, he wrote it. Okay. First of all, I got 2 letters, and one of them, I believe they probably were sent at 2 different times, but they got like lost or something, not sent to me until just now, because he only put 4. I don't want to put all my address, and you probably can't really see with the light. No, you can't. You can't. But he put 3813. So they didn't know where I was, and they put my name wrong. They put David still calls me. David's known me for well over a year now, and he still calls me Christine Reed. There's no use in correcting him because he'll always say it like that. That's just how he is. He has an interesting way. Okay, so the first letter I'm assuming is this one. Look at the cute. Happy holidays. Oh, and it came with a picture. I put it in the wrong one, but I think these came together where it said happy holidays. David sent me a handmade drawing. I believe that's a dragon. And I guess the New Year's baby riding in on a dragon. Happy New Year, 2021. David sent me that. I didn't even know he was going to send me that. That is precious. I think that's some kind of a dragon. It looks like that to me. That's what it is to me. Is it the year of the dragon this year? Is that what that's about? David knows about that stuff. So there may very well be a dragon, if that is the case. I thought I heard somebody say that. Anyway, I'm going to read this because this is so funny. Okay. David has an interesting way of spelling and wording things. So I'm just going to read it how it's written. You can't see it. I know. There you go. You can see. Okay. Hi, I am sorry. You will have to. It says taps me. I'm reading it how it says, but I'm assuming he means text. Hi, I am sorry. You will have to taps me your phone number. The guy destroyed all my message on my phone number. When I try to blow, he just has an interesting usage of words. It doesn't mean it how it sounds. When I try to blow him from my phone, I swear that's what it says. Yeah, let me get the right angle. Can you read that? I don't know if you guys can read that where it says that. But it's on here if you want to save that screen. It says that. I'm gonna try to say it and without laughing. I try to and I know the backstory a little bit on this, even without him having explained it to me earlier. I know a little bit of who this guy is because I didn't like the guy either. He calls David a lot. A lot of fans call David and are friends with him like I am. And there's this, he's talking about this one guy. And okay. When I try to blow him from my phone, he calls me continual, and tap me at these number, and I can't go him to stop. These are his number, all from the same person. 774-278-1509 and 630-364, I believe that's an 8, 6638. Also 773-431-0361. Also 650-021-5543. You're truly David Liebe Hart. I'm truly David Liebe Hart, according to David. I can't call you because him. And he put an arrow up there. So something happened with AT&T. He thinks it's this guy that he thinks it's this one guy, and I don't know who it is that keeps prank calling him and doing stuff to his phone. I think it's Jonah. Possibly Jonah and Barry Drew together, messing with him. But and especially because they do not like me being friends with David, because I call out their bullshit every time they try to pull some bullshit on him. That's why they don't like me being friends with him, because I tell them and I stand up for him and I help him stand up to himself, is what he says, that I help him stand up to himself, that he stands up to himself more since I've been his friend. It always helps to have somebody in your corner to help you stand up for yourself. I know that for a fact, and didn't always have people to stand up for me. And when they did, it meant a lot. It meant the world and gave me the extra courage I needed to stand up for my own self. But most of the time, I've had to stand up for myself on my own and get the grief from it, because that's just the type of person that I am. But I can take it. When I know it's something that's worth standing for, I will take if I have to stand alone, I stand alone, when I know it's right. Anyway, so here's the second letter. So I don't know, this one's a much more angry diva David, not so sweet. He sent me another letter. Hi, I am okay, but I am disappoint you. You didn't follow through on a lot of things I asked you to do, like writing 2 churches for me to get help across the country. How would he even know that I haven't done that, first of all? And secondly, you got to understand here, before I read any more of this, in my defense here, it's going to chew me out here. I have been worried sick about David because I didn't know why what he normally calls me at least once a week, at least. But normally it's often once a day, several times a day. At any hour, day or night. It could be at any time that he will call me. Sometimes he will call me 3 times in a row if I don't answer the first time and leave lots of voicemails at anywhere between 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning to tell me things that are emergencies to him. And they are often not necessarily emergencies that you couldn't wait till the next day, but that's just when David's got a thought, he's just got to tell me right then. So anyway, he gets really upset with me if I don't keep my I don't check voicemails normally, okay? But David, since I've been friends with him, he gets really upset. If my voicemails aren't set up or they're full, and when they get full, guess who's filled them up completely? They're all full of his messages. He's the only one that leaves me messages, and they're long messages. And I mean, some people leave messages, but I hardly ever check. I just call them back or text them. Anyway, so the last assignment, he gives me all kinds of assignments that he needs help with. And as his friend and I'm his fan, but honestly, truly, we have a business together, just a very small business together, and merchandising, and working on a show together, and but mostly he's one of my best friends if I'm not his best friend. And he sure confides in me a lot if I'm not his best friend. But either way, I don't have to be his best friend. He has a best friend. His name is Joe. Anyway, not to replace him. I'm really more of his sister in Christ and daughter figure. We have a school teacher relationship, as David likes to call it. He doesn't date fans, by the way. Not that I was looking to date him, but I'm just, just in case people are wondering what kind of relationship we have. He is truly like an appropriate school teacher type. It's an appropriate school teacher type relationship. Nothing more. Absolutely nothing more. In fact, not that I'm romantically inclined in any kind of way, but I actually kind of, because I see him he's literally the same age as my dad. I think was born around the same time. I don't remember what my dad's birthday is, but it's somewhere around that same time. He's the same sign and everything. For all I know, it could be the same day. I don't know. But he's literally like the same age as my dad. So I see him as a fatherly figure. So I don't see him that way. But I was kind of a little taken aback and even slightly offended that he never hit on me, or even the thought never seemed to cross his mind to see me as a potential mate for himself, even though he talks all the time about being lonely and he can't find a decent girl. And I used to think it was not because that's what I wanted anyway, but it's like just because he didn't want to, I thought, well, what's wrong with me? Like most guys at his age and didn't have anybody. I mean, they at least like try something, and He is such a gentleman. Sometimes I've heard people accuse him of being some kind of a pervert or something. And y'all don't know, David. You must have misunderstood something he said or did, because he doesn't. Laurent, the alien at the La Brea tar pits, told him in 1994 that he should not be looking. Oh, it wasn't in 1994 that this happened, but he hasn't had sex since 1994. And even he doesn't even look at porn since several years ago, when the La Brea tar pits, he used to play, do sing and do his stuff down at the La Brea tar pits. And Laurent, the alien, told him not to look at porn, that it's wrong, and to only have pure thoughts towards women and not unclean thoughts of sex outside of the confines of God's ideal marriage standards. Okay, so anyway, so let me get back to where I was talking about. Just people who know David Liebe understand who Laurent is. If you don't know who Laurent is, just Google David Liebe and Laurent, and you'll find his songs. Anyway, okay, so David here is saying that I have not been writing to the church to help him get money. Look, I started our Etsy business and did this at my own expense. And not his real man, he doesn't have a manager. If he had a manager, a real manager, he wouldn't have these problems. But this guy that has stolen all his material, who calls himself his manager, he's really just his tour buddy, partner, whatever, fellow musician. They've co-written some or co-produced some stuff, but he makes money off of David's name and image and steals from him. And he's always trying to get me out of the picture here, which is why I believe he's the one that has something to do behind all these mysterious phone calls, and why David all of a sudden couldn't contact me for that long. He does everything he can to try to get him to stop being friends with me. So, and because he is stealing money from him, David's struggling financially. He is terrible. He is truly struggling. I'm so worried. This is why I was scared, because I was worried, he had gotten evicted and was homeless. Some bad thing had happened to me. He keeps telling me that Jonah is affiliated with the cartel, and he's terrified. He really believes that. And, I'm just like, David, I think he's got you intimidated by him, and he's not as a big deal as you think. I don't believe he's really affiliated with them, but if he is, I'm from the Italian. That's where my family, I'm from Memphis. Okay. And actually, that's all I need to say. All right. And I'm Italian. And I come from an old family from Broad Avenue. Look up the history of that. And I'm not worried about any today's cartel, especially the LA cartels. Okay. I'm not scared. He's always telling me to be scared of them. I'm not scared. But still, if he just disappears all of a sudden, it does make me wonder, maybe they really are. The Illuminati and the cartel are, maybe they really are mad at him and doing something to him. Your mind starts wondering. Plus, but mainly because he's older. And I mean, he could have a stroke or a heart attack, and he doesn't have family that keeps in touch with him very often, or lives close enough, for all I know, something could have happened to him. So I've been worried sick. So anything I haven't been doing for him lately is because I thought either something is, I don't know if what I'm supposed to be doing, because I haven't heard back from him and he's not answering any phone calls. because if I don't hear from him for a while, I very rarely call David. He calls me enough. I don't need to. But if I have a question or I need to tell him something, I do call him. But I hadn't heard from him in so long. I was calling him because I was starting to worry. When I don't hear from him for a while, I'm wondering what's going on, because oftentimes Jonah will tell him something or do something to trick David into thinking some dreadful thing, or believe something, and he'll get mad at me about something that didn't even happen, or I don't know. Jonah he gaslights him and does all these things, bribes him. It tried to pay him off to not be friends with me and not let me sell products for him, because I do it voluntarily because he needs help. And I do it because I do it at my own cost, because I genuinely worry about him, and I can't afford to support him very much. I can't afford to. So what I do is I put a little bit of money into a small business, because I'm a jeweler, and so I'm just collaborating with him selling. I was selling just his merchandise at first, and it was doing well enough with just that. I really was going to sell other things with it, and I planned to, but there's just been so much drama, and Jonah is just so controlling about anything that I say or do, to try to help David or promote David. And at first I thought it was because he's just like trying to do his job, and I try to respect that. But then when I realized that David told me for a long time that he was stealing from him, but I didn't even believe him at first. I thought David just didn't understand the side of business that he does. But now I do believe him after over a year of working with David, and working with Jonah longer than David, actually, to help him in with his, booking his tours and things like that. He's not a good manager. He relies on his fans to do that stuff for him. He's afraid to even talk on the phone. He's like got social anxiety and stuff. I'm not knocking him for that. But what I'm saying is, he's not a manager. One, he's not legally qualified to be a manager in California, which you have to have a license for that, a talent agent license to practice in any way, shape, or form as any kind of talent agent or manager or whatnot. So he's not allowed to do that technically, or else David legally could take him to court, explain that this guy's been fraudulently representing himself to be qualified as my manager and being my manager, and he can blame him for all of the bad things that has ever happened in his career, and he could get all the money that he's ever made off of David back. I looked it up. I looked into the laws on this, because it's such a legal tangle that David's in. Let me tell you, when you go into business with somebody, it's rougher to get out of than a marriage. Seriously, that people have always told me that. I've never been married, so I don't know, but I'm a jeweler, and I've sold many an engagement ring, and I've also have lots of friends that I have been the bridesmaid of, and I see other people's relationships from the outside, and I believe people when they say, from the business side and from what I've heard other people say and witnessed, I can believe it, that a business partnership is just as, if not more, solid than a marriage, which I think, I don't know. Well, I won't get into what I think about marriage and all that. So I'm already on a tangent. Okay. So what all his accusations here are null and void, because I have been worried sick, thinking he could be dead, thinking maybe he just doesn't want to talk to me, because sometimes he won't speak to me after something. Jonah's either bribed him not to speak to me, or gets mad about something I've said and says, I won't, if you still work with Christina and talk to Christina, I will take down all of your websites and all of this stuff. He's afraid of him doing that. So he blackmails him. So David has to hide our relationship, which is ridiculous. He does not have to hide his relationship with me. He can work with whoever he wants to. He's not under contract with any of these. He's not even under contract with Tim and Eric, as far as I know. In fact, I don't even think Absolute Production is a thing anymore, right? As of right now, I don't know. It's like closed up. I can tell you a lot of things you guys don't know about Absolutely Production and Tim and Eric. Behind the scenes stuff that I'm probably not even supposed to say, but I don't work for them. And but Vera Drew went way out of the creative director for I Love David. She went way beyond professional boundaries in the things that she said to David. And threatened me, like, for working with him. Not to me, not to my face, but to him, scaring him into something could happen to me because of who she knows. It, like, I need to watch myself or something to that level is what David explained to me, because he was scared for me to come there, legitimately scared. And this is a man in a dress that had supposedly a sex change or whatever, so he calls himself a she now. No, you are still a masculine bully picking on a girl and an elderly black man because you're jealous that I'm just because me and David, okay, really it's a ministry. It's our ministry. It's a small business. It's not really, it's really our ministry. But it's my ministry to help David. And David, in my opinion, is ministering to the world and spreading love and light throughout the world. And I'm ministering to him because he ministers to the world. So it is our ministry. It is not like a legal nonprofit. We don't even have enough money to qualify for that. Okay. We are poor, no budget. It's whatever money I have, and I have no money. I'm a starving artist myself. Especially since the COVID thing, and they've taken down every normal source of income that I would normally be able to make, that I know how to make. It's considered non-essential. So same thing for David, and I worry more for him than for me, because I have family and some people in my life that are supportive that could help me, and David really doesn't. He really doesn't. And I love him. So I'm his friend and I love him. So, and I have, ever since I've known him, that's all I've done is constantly try to find sources of income for him. In whatever way, shape, or form. Sometimes I've had to help him apply it's sad, for welfare benefits and disability. He said that I can tell his fans this. He wants me to tell his fans this stuff. I'm not going to disclose all of his issues or go into his medical history or nothing like that, but they've taken away any source of income from him. Plus, he's just older and aging. He's got some issues with his eyes. He's just not able to work he can't start all over at his age, starting some new way of earning a living. And the only way that the main source of income that David's had to make money for himself has been completely taken from him. Completely. So I've had to apply to all these different sources to get income. So he's had he's a member of SAG-AFTRA or whatever. He get me and like maybe one or two other people. Well, probably more than that, because there's lots of people that I guess kind of help look out for him. Lots of people, he gets whoever he can, because he doesn't have family to help him. So whoever he can to help him with certain things that he can't do for himself. He can barely work his phone. He can barely see now. He can't type or do computer work. he doesn't have a computer or the internet. He doesn't know how to work it on his phone. He's just technologically challenged, because of his generation, and it's, that's just, and plus with his eyesight now, it's gotten bad. So anyway, I have done everything I can to help him. It's not even my responsibility. I'm not even truly his real family, but I love him as much, and I'm not complaining, and I would, and I will still keep helping him as much as I can. But okay, so I'm rambling. I'll just get to what he's saying here. Okay, so I have disappointed him for not following through on things like writing to the churches for him to get help across the country, or writing to famous people. I ask you to contact that we're giving help to people in need. You didn't respect me like Cody and Jonah. He complains a lot about Cody and Jonah, how they don't respect him and they don't follow through with things. But whether they do or they don't, no one can follow through with every demand that David expects out of people. So, okay, I already talked to David about this. In fact, I told him, I said, David, your letter, you're accusing me of not following through. I'm like, David, I've just been worried sick about you. It's not that I wasn't following through. I thought you didn't want to speak to me or something. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know if I was supposed to follow through with. You just disappeared off the planet, and I hadn't heard anything from you, and you weren't returning my phone calls, so I didn't know what to think. It was an issue with his phone. Now I know this, but I didn't know that then. So I'm like, David, you can't be mad at me. Please know that I wasn't just blowing you off. I was just keeping my, I thought maybe you were busy or whatnot. That's all it was. Anyway, it's fine now. He's well, you have me now. So that's his apology. Okay. Anyway, I forgiving many times you do the same thing. Yes, I didn't want to speak to you because he must have gotten one of my voicemails when I called him. I didn't want to speak to you at this time, because that's what I said. I said, David, if you're just not wanting to speak to me or something, that's okay, but please just let me know you're okay. That must be why he sent me this letter. Probably because he hadn't heard back from me when he sent me the earlier letter that was much nicer. Hadn't heard back from me, so he must be irritated with me when he wrote this. And I don't know what that's all about. But anyway, okay. AT&T tried to stop that guy that was taps, and he means text when he says taps. That was text. I'm going to say texting and calling all the time, because he got keep. It says keep, but I know he means kick. He got kicked out of Tim and Eric show. He messed up my cell phone, clean out all my message in contact to be unkind. He sent something to my phone that they didn't work good. I sent you Michael. Maybe he means male. Oh, Michael. His name is Michael. Mike. I sent you Michael mini phone number. He calls me at mini. Police report made, but nothing was ever done to stop him. Sent me half on everything to make half of my thank you. Oh, he's saying send him half of everything I make that I have of his. Nobody's bought anything. See, oh yeah, that's because Jonas took down the website. He's taken down all the platforms where I was selling stuff for him, and now he's taking that away. So I have to start from scratch, and I'm not selling any until we get this straightened out with the copyright and stuff. I'm gonna. I don't want him taking down any more of my stuff, so I'm just not doing anything that he can try to troll me on. He's actually not letting David use his own copyright, and blocking me from selling things for David against David's will and wishes, but doing it anyway because no one will stop him. Because the cops don't care in LA. And David thinks that he's gonna send the mafia after him if he stands up for himself. So I'm the muscle that stands up to Jonah. So that's why Jonah's always trying to find some kind of way to get rid of me. And so that's why I wasn't calling him back. So I thought, well, maybe, basically it's like this. I'm not going to keep chasing after. I worry over David, but I do so much for him. If he's going to be that ungrateful and just leave me hanging and not let me know what's going on, it's like, you know what, Christina, stop worrying. Just stop worrying for him, because don't let him put his problems on you anymore, because it hurts my feelings, when he throws me under the bus like that. But this was genuinely, honestly, his fault. And he apparently tried to contact me and didn't just leave me hanging. Sent me a drawing and a letter, 2 letters. One of them was a chewing out letter, but the other one was a nice one. So, anyway, that's what's going on with David. He is getting harassed. He's been having some telephone issues, and the stuff is still going on with Jonah stealing from him, but I don't know what to do about that. I know what to do about that, and we are going to do something about that. It's a big mess, and the only thing I can do about it now is just why I'm not going to try to sell Liebe Hart stuff or merchandise anymore. I'm just going to sell my own creative stuff, and I'm going to stop worrying so much about it, because I do feel a little bit taken advantage of. I know that David genuinely gets stressed out and bullied, and he doesn't mean to do that to me. He really doesn't. And I'm not making excuses for him like it's an abusive relationship or anything like that, I promise. But he can be a little bit of a diva. He can be. But David's just got a lot of things up against him. And he's got such a kind heart and a true, genuine desire to be a good person. And y'all don't know of the things that I hear that he worries over people, that he worries so much over the homeless that he makes them food and they don't want his food, that he will be broke and not have money because they keep cutting off his food stamps, even though he doesn't have money. It's a mess. It's a bureaucratic mess over there. And he is just barely struggling, but he worries about the homeless people and will take what little food he has and make sure he has enough to make homeless people the food. And then they oftentimes will be mean to him about it because it's not like sealed stuff. It's they don't know what it is, they're not happy with it because it's not, prepackaged or, I can understand they don't know him from Adam. And if somebody gives you food in downtown LA just because they like you, just that they made it yourself, you got to be careful. You don't want to, especially in the middle of the coronavirus, you don't want to just eat anybody's food. But David got really upset one time that happened. And he spent his little bit of money. He even had to buy groceries, and he made sure to make a pot of spaghetti and meatballs for the homeless. And they didn't like they like were mean to him. I don't like this or something like that. And he anyway, but so I'm working on a show for David, because I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if they're going to do another season of I Love David or not. They were until the coronavirus happened. So maybe that will happen next year, because it didn't happen this year. Everything got canceled. Or they may not do another season, but there will be another show for David. And that's what we're working on right now. I'm helping him work on it. It's really, I'm just helping put together David. Well, no, it's really going to be my show, but I don't want to tell you too much. I don't want to tell you all the deal, because I don't want somebody to steal my idea. But there's elements of me in there, but it's mainly for David, basically, because it's my show and my world, and kind of sort of revolves around David. It doesn't, but it kind of does, because I am his. I wear many hats. I am his personal assistant slash assistants of counsel, personal secretary, warrior. I've fought Rita Repulsa many a time, because she is the slumlord of his apartments. I can't even tell you how many times I've had to defeat Rita Repulsa and her evil minions that are dead set on ruining David's ability to spread love and light with the world like he's supposed to. They just make him as miserable as they can. She has retired from fighting Power Rangers and now just picks on David as a slum lady of David's apartment. She has it out for him, really, truly. I believe she really does, because David, really, they are constantly at battle every single month, but often multiple things. I had to call the housing department and write to the 5th district councilman, and set up an appointment and I had to call Adult Protective Services. He asked me to, and he really needed it. I had to do that. So he's got a social worker now, and he is getting things squared up. But let me say this to the people that keep bullying him. I am not, as long as David wants me in his life, I'm going to be in his life, and I'm going to watch out. I have his back. Okay? So Jonah, there's other people, Vera Drew, some other haters out there, Jonah's little minions, probably Vera Drew probably has minions. I even hear tell Tim and Eric have spoken of me. I don't know what they really think or don't think, or maybe they don't think anything at all. And David's just thinks they think stuff, because Vera Drew gaslights him. So sometimes he'll tell me stuff that Tim and Eric said, but they could be relayed from Vera Drew said that Tim and Eric said, and she in gaslighting him. So I don't think Tim and Eric really care about what I say or do on the internet. But one time, supposedly, they tried to censor me because of something I said about his politics, which they can't do that. But but it wasn't really that. That was, David said that was part of why, but I don't think that's really why, because I told on Vera Drew for what she said to David. She called him a black, I'm not going to say the word, but you know the N word that I'm talking about, called him that, and was sexually harassing him and made threats to me. And I told on him. said that if I don't find out that it's been rectified and something's been done, and David reports back to me that it's been cleared up, she's apologized, and he doesn't feel threatened anymore, I'm gonna tell everybody what kind of awful people you have working for you or whatever. I was mad, and they actually sent me a letter back. It wasn't Tim or Eric, it was their intern person, and it's actually really nice, and like thanked me for telling him, and that he had no idea but she had been bullying him. She had been doing it for a long time and nobody knew. And he kind of has been looking out for her, and I believe he really does. Like his name is, I can't think of his name now, but one of the interns, Joey Lyons, he has been super nice to David based on what David has told me, trying to help him through the COVID and all that, with all the not having work and things like that. He's really tried to help David, helped me. I know I have, and I know he has done things to help him get Social Security and music cares and things like that. We both, David kind of, he just has like a few of us that he has us all working on projects for him. And then I'm like, oh, you're doing this? And I thought he wanted me to do it. And I think what he does is that he gets us all to do it. And whoever accomplishes it first wins by succeeding for him. And he loves them the most at that time until the next challenge. But that's okay, because I do love David, so I don't care. He can be that way because David is special to me. He is special to me. And he needs a little bit of extra specialness to help him out in this world, because he's got a lot of setbacks. And so I don't mind treating him like a little bit extra special sometimes, and try to be patient with him when he gets frustrated, because he's got a lot. He genuinely has a lot against him, and he's had a lot of traumas in his life. And once, when he was a kid, a real little kid, which might explain some things about David, he ate poisonous toadstools. And I think they messed with his mind a little bit when he was 4. He tripped balls. He should have died. They were the poisonous kind. Anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to read that letter. That's what's been going on with David. He's good now. He's okay. Finally, he's got a social worker working with him. He told me to tell Adam Papagan, which I'm not going to tell Adam nothing, because the last when I tried to call, worried about David, he didn't want to get in the middle of it. He said so. David wants me to tell Adam Papagan to stop bugging him about getting his glasses or whatever, or his eyes or something. And he's just going to have to tell that to Adam himself. Apparently they were making an album. I think that's the real reason that David disappeared for a minute. I think Jonah, maybe Adam's in on it. Maybe he does it too. I don't know, but they cock block me big time. I'm not after David's cock, but you know what I'm saying. These guys bully me out of the picture because they don't like my influence on David because I'm a girl, and they think, oh yeah, he's going to listen to the girl. But they're just bullies and parasites. And he doesn't have the guts to stand up to them, and I do. I won't let them bully me, and they won't bully David in front of me or in my, like, if I have anything to do with it and there's something I can do and it's, proper for me to do, I will do it. I mean, I am not going to fight all of David's battles for him. That wouldn't be right. It's not my place to. It wouldn't be right for me or fair to me or fair to him, because he needs to fight his own battles. But sometimes when they're bigger battles that you can't handle on your own, those are the ones I help him fight, because that's what, we're supposed to do for one another. just as human beings. So he wanted me to tell Adam he doesn't want to fool with his eyes right now because he needs to stay by the phone and follow up with, do all his appointments like the people for the disability people doing the analysis want him to, because he can't miss appointments and stuff. He can't delay any of this. He really needs it, and he has no other source of income. Y'all are young, and I think that they just are. I'm not gonna say what I think. I don't know what his motives are and what's going on. If Adam Pop begins truly being a philanthropist here, or he just wants David's eyesight to get better so he can finish the album that he's making, that he will be benefiting from. I think that's the true motive. Anyway, David told me he doesn't want to be bothered about that because he's got to fulfill his obligations to get his disability money right now, because he's going to be out on the street. And the last that last time I said that to Adam Pop again, he said, "Oh, David, he'll just sell his stuff out of storage and live in the storage facility or whatever. If he has to, like, did not give a shit when I was worried that David might end up homeless. He could care less. So I don't know why he's worried about David's eyesight. The only thing I can think of right now is because he wants to finish some album that David's saying that they didn't finish or whatever. I have a feeling that's the real reason David's not been speaking to me, and that's why he wants to turn it around and make it like I did something to him, when really he feels guilty that they probably either bribed him to not speak to me or talk to me or whatever while they were working on their little selfish project that they're doing, and they don't want me getting in the middle of, or telling David, are they paying you? Did they, don't let them bully you and blah, blah, blah. I don't do that unless he complains to me and complains to me continuously that people are doing stuff to him. Thing is, David not always, but often feels persecuted, and he's not actually persecuted. But he just doesn't understand the perspective of where the other people are coming from sometimes, or certain details, and he gets offended by and takes it personal, and they're not really personal. But oftentimes he really does get bullied, and the people that have been manipulating him have. Now, the people that I am friends with, his friends that truly care about him, and we, David's just got a support system, I guess. And we all kind of, not all, but at least we know each other. Some of us get along, some of us don't. Me and Nick get along well. And Nick, and also he has a fellow fan named Matt, that David, he keeps in touch with us and tells us this. We kind of look out for him because he doesn't have, he just gets bullied a lot, and he gets taken advantage of, and he's struggling. And anybody who's a fan of his, if you want to help support him, I've got, I'm working on a website for my own self, selling my own stuff. And we are going to go back to selling David's stuff, but it's I'm just letting you know that if you buy stuff off of David's website, it is most likely David's not going to get benefit from it. It goes straight to Jonah, and Jonah may or may not share it with him, or even tell him he's made a sale. David would never know. And I don't think, if David tells me he's not paying him anything, so any David Liebe Hart merchandise you buy off of his website or off of YouTube is not benefiting David. It goes straight to Jonah, this white boy that has stolen Chip's persona and pretending to be Chip the black boy, and saying and doing things, making Chip say and do things that David doesn't agree with, does not want him to do it. And David is going to take legal measures to deal with that. But he's got a lot of fish to fry right now. So until that happens, I would suggest if you want to support David, directly support him. I will give you his number. It's on my it's on one of my videos that I'm not gonna. David gives the number out to his fans. I'm not gonna give his number out, but I will give you the email address that I use for David when he needs, because he doesn't even check his own emails. So Jonah does, or the one other than the one that I set for him. But any of the emails David has, Jonah has access to. So if you want it to go directly to him, I will. If you go to DLHdadandlad@gmail.com, email me and I'll give you his direct number, and you can mail it yourself, or you can however you and David want to arrange it. If you want to get it to me and I get it to him, if you need to go that way, or if because I don't think David can take money through credit card. I don't think he knows how to do that. I could do that for him, or do PayPal for him and send it to him. That's what I normally do, is I send it to him in money order. But so I can do that, or you can send it directly to him yourself. But make sure if you send him anything yourself, because that's up to David. I don't think he should let just anybody be mailing him shit, because not everybody needs to know where he lives. But not that he would go straight to his door anyway, but still. But that's up to him. But if you want to send it to me, I will, and you can call and follow up with David yourself to make sure he actually receives it, just to make sure he actually is giving it, and I'm not saying that I'm taking money for him and not actually getting it to him. If I'm getting, like I am making a business. It's really my business, but it's my business that I'm doing everything, but I'm doing it to help benefit David, and trying to help set him up to where he can actually make his own money and it not be funneled through Jonah. But until that happens, I'm just having you to do it through me, and I'm literally nobody. So, and I'm a starving artist myself, but slowly but surely, miraculously, God has blessed everything that we've done, but it's just like 3 steps forward, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. But at least I'm still a little bit farther than I was. That's how it's been since we've been working on this ministry that we have. And when I say ministry, what I mean is what David does is a ministry to the world, as far as I'm concerned. And most of his fans probably would agree with me. And my ministry is to serve David and others as well, and not just for David. And because David's mission is to serve others, so he does that on his own. So I am using the money that I make through. I have my own separate jewelry business, but the one that I'm making for David that's separate is going to benefit specifically for him. So if I make money out of it, I will tell you what percentage or whatever that I'm making. But right now, I'm not making any money off of if you just want to send him donations. Okay. Or if I'll also, I'll go ahead and send David the full 20 for this. But most of the time when I sell things, I'm going to split it with David. Unless David's done all the work for it, then I'll only take a small percentage or no percentage, depending on what it is. Because it's really just to help benefit him. Because David is his own crafter. But I'm going to start making handmade things for David and other just bohemian weird stuff and sell it. And it's not, Jonah won't be able to harass us with the copyright stuff. Jonah does not have the rights to do that. It's just he's tricked the people into not knowing, thinking that they're his manager and stealing David's site that I made for him, and he stole it from us. So I'm having to start from scratch all over again to help David, and this is the first thing I'm going to sell. It's $20. It's a little part. Oh, let me explain here. Okay, that comes off. I handmade this. It's copper, and I've got, okay, you can probably not see it that good, but it's David in space, and that's his face right here, okay? And then there's all these jewels and stuff. There's a flying pig in space. Flying pig. And I don't know if you can see, that's a spaceship, a flying saucer, I mean. And there's Jesus in the background. So, and this is it's metal, it's copper. I handmade this myself, and I meant it to be like a birthday party favor for your birthdays, or just as a cute decoration if you're a David fan. And I was thinking, if you wanted me to, for an extra $5, I will put a magnet on the back. This is Velcro, but I'll put another one on the side here, so if you want to put it on your refrigerator instead of not just as the birthday party, you can stash this away and have this on your refrigerator after the birthday party. So for an extra $5. Otherwise, you just get this. Okay, $20. This goes for David Liebe Hart, to benefit David Liebe Hart. Or if you want to just send a donation to DLHdadandlad@gmail.com, it's going to go to benefit David. I would not recommend buying anything from the YouTube channel for David, or the one that says David Liebe Hart or Chip the Black Boy. And I don't recommend buying anything off of any current sites that are for David. That's Jonah, and it's going to Jonah, a white boy that's stolen Chip the Black Boy, stealing David's copyright and stealing all his money, and is the reason why David's broke right now. So I'm asking, if you're truly David's fan, please don't, if you want to support David, don't support him through his mainstream things that's not really benefiting David. This guy has stolen all of David's accounts and won't give them back. Won't let David have them back. So David doesn't even know how much he's stealing or getting from them. The only way to know for sure if he gets it is if you contact him yourself, which I will get you in contact with him if you email me DLHdadandlad@gmail.com, and I will get you his phone number if you want to send him a donation or something. I will get you hooked up, and you can talk to him yourself and make sure it gets to him. However you want to work that out, either go through me or directly to his house, to his address. Okay, so that's what's been going on with the David Liebe Hart drama as of right now. So next time I have anything else to tell you, I'll let you know. Salome.